Autonomous vehicles. Are they really safe? Alright, so how these vehicles work. This is Tesla specific. There's a lot of other autonomous cars out on the market today, and a lot more to come, and they all generally work the same way, but I'm specifically going to just focus on Tesla for this video. So Tesla has a forward-facing radar. It has 12 ultrasonic sensors that surround the whole vehicle. It has a forward-facing camera. Has a highly sensitive GPS tracking system to monitor where the car's at. And it has a Tesla, what they call is a neural net. It's the processing software for the vision, the sonar, and the radar. And basically, in a nutshell, how it works, the forward-facing radar is constantly scanning ahead, hundreds of meters for obstacles on the road or anything out in front of the vehicle. It's basically scanning just throwing out signals, finding what's out there. It uses the 12 ultrasonic sensors to create about a barrier, a 16-foot barrier around the car to pick up anything around it. 360 degrees around the car can be picked up by these ultrasonic sensors. It then uses a forward-facing camera to track the lines and see things in front of it and whatnot to keep the car in line. It uses the GPS tracking system to monitor how fast the vehicle is going, where it's at. There's other things that monitor the speed of the vehicle and whatnot, but the GPS tracking system's to keep the car going in the same direction where it's going. And basically, this is all processed by the neural net. There's a central processing unit for this whole system that processes the vision, the sonar, and the radar all together. It processes that information and calculates, oh, I need to go faster. This car's slowing down in front of me. I need to slow down and keep it up, or keep a distance. It has a lane change effect to where if it sees an obstacle in front of it and it needs to make a quick lane change, it will use the 12 ultrasonic sensors to sense around the car, make a lane change without even commanding it to. It can move over. This is for the Tesla Level 2 autonomous vehicle. That's what's currently out today. They've got a lot of stuff coming up with Level 3, 4, and 5. But yeah, basically that's how this one works. It's a lot of sensors, a computer, and it basically keeps the car a safe distance away from people, going the correct speed that you set it to, as in like cruise control. You set it at 70, it keeps it at 70. Unless a car is in front of it, it'll slow down or change lanes to make its calculations. So potential risks for an autonomous car, as you saw in the video previously, just malfunctions. It doesn't sense something in front of it and it hit that man. This could come from a lot of things. I mean, just throwing off the top of my head, you have a sensor in the left rear corner that's not reading properly. You make a signal to change lanes by hitting the blinker left, and the car decides to go over, and you don't check the blind spot. The car sensor doesn't pick it up, and for some reason it still changes lanes and hits the car. There's a potential problem with different things of that matter, because we saw in the video before, the front-facing sensors didn't pick up that person standing in front of the car and it hit him. Another potential risk with automated cars would be a hijacker. I mean, you have people who are, maybe they're doing it for fun or whatever, for bad intentions, but they hijack the computers in this car and they can manually control themselves, like a remote, like an RC car. From their computers, they're controlling it, using the camera to see where they're driving, and they can drive your car wherever they want it to. Another potential risk I see with automated cars would have a lot more distracted drivers. I know with at least my group of friends and acquaintances and people that I know, as soon as Apple came out with the Siri text function where you could talk on your phone and text, they stopped texting and driving, they said, but they would still talk to their phone all the time, constantly doing something to send a text and have the text read to you. I could see where a car that can keep itself in the lane and drive and back away from other cars in front of you, that a lot of people, even though you're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel, it's not a fully automated car, it's an assisted car, that I could see a lot of people not paying attention and being on their phones or sleeping. I mean, there's a few YouTube videos of people driving Teslas and they're asleep in traffic while it's driving down the road. I could see a lot more distracted drivers happening where that could be a potential problem. Another potential risk of owning one of these cars is the cost to repair the vehicle. These systems are very complex and intricate and sensitive. If something breaks on one of these cars or a malfunction happens and it needs to be repaired, it could get really expensive to keep these cars on the road and be very, very hard on the wallet. What makes these cars good? The way we're going with the crash avoidance technologies, it is amazing what these cars can do. The fact that you could be coming up to a car and you could see somebody slam on their brakes and your reaction time takes 1 second to go, oh no, I need to step on the brakes. Boom. And you step on the brakes. The crash avoidance technology already sensed that before you even saw it and was getting ready to slow the car down before you touched the pedal. Different things like that are phenomenal. I mean, you have a car that's literally a better driver than you in the seat and can sense things before you can predict them, slowing you down, keeping you safe. There's so many different things that makes that a awesome benefit to have with these cars. They have auto steer, they have an auto lane change feature, auto park. All of these things are useful. I mean, auto park, there's a lot of people out there that aren't very good at parking, and they get really close to one car and then I get door dings or something like that. Well, auto park will perfectly center it in that lane and you won't have issues with parking. The auto steer function is awesome that I kind of mentioned before in the way they were working, but you can hit the blinker on these Teslas and they will change lanes for you after they've scanned to make sure there's nothing in the blind spots, nothing like that. I don't know about you, but I've had my situation where I've looked over my shoulder, checked my mirrors, and then blinkered, and there was a car right in my blind spot out of nowhere. Well, these cars are sensing all the way around you from everywhere, and they'll be able to pick up when you hit that blinker. If a car pulls up really quick or out of nowhere that you didn't see, they'll be able to sense that, and it won't change lanes unless it's safe to move you over. That is an awesome function. The auto steer function, that was the auto lane change. I said auto steer, but the auto steer function is when you hit it on autopilot mode and you're driving down the road, just like the video that I'm about to show you, you can see the guy lets off the steering wheel and the car drives it. It doesn't matter what the road is, it just follows and keeps you right in the lines. It's perfect. I mean, we all think we're the best drivers in the world, but even I occasionally will be driving and I'll see something and I'll kind of veer and I won't be perfectly in the lane, or you look at something up ahead and you're not perfectly in your lane and you can you can drift over a little bit. The auto steer function corrects all of that. It doesn't let you accidentally steer out of a lane. It'll keep you in that lane all of the time.
Oh my gosh, this is so... I'm not touching it at all and it's driving. Whoa, the lanes are getting a little... Oh, no, there it goes, and it stops.
So Mark Rosenkind, the administrator of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, he said about autonomous cars that he predicts that it could cut the annual traffic death numbers in half. That means half of the people in the United States that died because of car accidents, which majority are from drunk drivers, will be avoided because of an autonomous car. Now, I don't think that if you go out and get drunk and then get in your autonomous car and then you just say, take me home, I think there should be some rules and regulations on that. I don't know if that is an appropriate thing, because I would still feel that even though the car is driving itself, that you need to still be alert and paying attention. You can't just let it do its own thing. But it can help cut out a lot of those things where, we make mistakes. I don't see the red lights up ahead for some reason and I just drive straight through a red light. Well, the autonomous car, it will slow you down for that red light if you're in autopilot mode. It won't let you run that red light. It'll do a lot of things that can really help people. And I believe that it could cut the annual traffic-related deaths in the United States in half. So when should we expect all of this to happen? So right now we have a few autonomous cars out on the market today. I've talked specifically about Tesla, but Infiniti has one, BMW, some other people, but they're not fully autonomous, level 2 autonomous, where it's a driver-aided, it's like a supplemental safety is what it would be. It can drive itself. You can see from the videos that we watch that it drives itself, but you are still supposed to keep your hands on the wheel, you're supposed to pay attention, and you're supposed to be the driver, while these other things are just aiding you in your driving experience, trying to keep you safer. But from a couple of the car manufacturers out there today, Ford expects to have a fully autonomous vehicle by 2021. Volkswagen by 2019. GM said by 2020 or sooner. So whatever, that's up to interpretation. Tesla's saying they're going to have a fully automated car that will drive itself completely by 2018. The vehicle wouldn't be received until 2021 if you bought it. But there's a lot of things that are going into the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, what they're saying for different levels of automation, how it's going to work. And there's still a lot of things that have got to be figured out. But I think here within the next couple of years, we're going to be seeing some pretty technologically advanced cars out on the road today, doing some pretty amazing things. I don't think by 2020 that we're going to see a car driving down the road and there's just a couple of people in the back seat and nobody's driving it. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I don't think it's too far away. It's pretty interesting to see all the stuff that's coming out. And, here in the next couple of years, it's just going to keep getting more and more advanced. My final thoughts on automated cars, it's tough because I love technology, I love moving forward and all the advancements that are coming out, but personally I love sitting in a car and just manually shifting through the gears and driving it and controlling your power and things like that, controlling the brakes, how fast I want to go, how hard I want to take this corner. I like that. I've always been a driver. It's been one of my hobbies ever since I got a driver's license. When I started riding motorcycles and I was like 5 or 6 years old. And so to me, it takes all the fun out of everything. From everything I've watched, the thought of having a car just do it for me isn't exciting. It isn't fun. But I do like the idea of all these driver aids that can help keep people safer. I also ride motorcycles on the road, and I've had people cut me off. I've had stuff fly out of cars. I've had all sorts of crazy things happen to me because they couldn't see me on my motorcycle. And I think having more autonomous cars on the road will make me feel a lot safer as a motorcycle rider on the road, knowing that a car in front of me is smarter than the teenage girl who's texting behind the wheel. I think that gives me a sense of security, and it's something that I look forward to having on the road and I'm not opposed to. But as in my personal cars, it's kind of tough because I like to drive them. I like that feeling that I get from driving cars. But that's what we have it. It's what's coming. There's nothing we can do about it. Here in the next couple of years, we're going to be seeing a lot more automated cars out on the road and a lot more technological advances here in the near future.